బడ్జెట్ పై లోక్సభలో తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రానికి రావాల్సిన నిధులపై చేవెళ్ల ఎంపీ డాక్టర్ జి రంజిత్ రెడ్డి మాట్లాడారు. ఉమ్మడి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్రంలో తెలంగాణ ఎంతో నిర్లక్ష్యం చేయబడిందని అన్నారు. ముఖ్యమంత్రి కేసీఆర్ సారథ్యంలో సాధించిన తెలంగాణ అన్ని రంగాల్లో అభివృద్ధి పథం వైపు దూసుకుపోతుందని అన్నారు. మేము చెప్పడం కాదు, కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వమే పలు సందర్భాల్లో తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రానికి అవార్డులు రివార్డులు ఇస్తూ మెచ్చుకుందని కూడా ఆయన ఈ సందర్భంగా తెలియజేశారు. ఐటీ మంత్రి కేటీఆర్ మాటలను సభలో గుర్తు చేశారు. తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో మొదట 5 సంవత్సరాలు వ్యవసాయ రంగానికి అధిక ప్రాధాన్యత ఇచ్చి కాళేశ్వరం ప్రాజెక్టును నిర్మించి 45 లక్షల ఎకరాలకు సాగునీటితో పాటు జంట నగరాలపై హైదరాబాద్, సికింద్రాబాద్ లకు త్రాగునీరు అందిస్తుందని అన్నారు. ఇక బడ్జెట్ లో తెలంగాణకు రావాల్సింది కాళేశ్వరం ప్రాజెక్టుకు జాతీయ హోదా, మెగా టెక్స్టైల్ పార్క్, తెలంగాణలో వైరాలజీ ల్యాబ్, తెలంగాణకు ఫ్లైట్ కారిడార్, మెట్రో రైలు శంషాబాద్ వరకు విస్తరణ, లింగంపల్లి నుంచి వికారాబాద్ కు ఎంఎంటీఎస్ రైలును ఫలక్నామా ప్యాలెస్ నుండి శంషాబాద్ మియాపూర్ వరకు విస్తరణ, వికారాబాద్ జంక్షన్ పరిధిలో వికారాబాద్ రాయచూర్ల రైలు విస్తరణ కార్యక్రమాలకై బడ్జెట్ లో తెలంగాణకు రావాల్సి ఉందని ఈ సందర్భంగా చేవెళ్ల ఎంపీ డాక్టర్ జి రంజిత్ రెడ్డి తెలియజేశారు.
Speak on the Umidonka budget, which is the result of COVID, which has ravaged the country and shrunk the GDP to unprecedented low of -23% in the first quarter of the last fiscal, and pushed the fiscal deficit also to all-time high of 9.5%. In spite of the prevailing unfavorable conditions, the finance minister has painted a rosy picture for the next fiscal and keep it on the pedestal with 6 pillars. Let us all hope and wish the ministry a good luck. Generally, in our schooling days, a bright student was always patted by the principal, by the teachers, and also the management, because they all felt that the student will get laurels to the school. The same thing is not happening in the country, because when a state is performing, it is the duty of the Prime Minister or the Finance Minister and the Government of India to give a pat to the states which are performing and which are the growth engines of the country, especially because the economy has to be revived and to be put back on the track. But it is not this way which is happening to the state of Telangana, which I represent from. We do not have any name in the budget, nor the 15th Finance Commission recommendations were considered, because the 15th Finance Commission has recommended for state-specific funds which are not accepted by the Government of India. Neither we could get a project nor the recommendations were accepted. The 14th Finance Commission has recommended 2.43%, and which has brought down by 15th Finance Commission to 2.133, and which is going to come down to 2.102 between 21 to 26. How can a performing state like Telangana be ignored for? Because Telangana is a revenue surplus state, and last year our GDP was 8.2%, and before that year it was 9.5%. Our expenditure, capital expenditure, was 45% in the last year, sir, when compared to the Finance Minister proposal of 34.5 for the coming fiscal. But when it coming to the big ticket projects, all the big ticket projects are going to the states where the elections are happening. I can understand the political equations of the finance minister, but what I say is at least the states which are performing have to be considered. Our working president K.T. Ramarao keeps saying that the government of India is giving all the awards and rewards for the Telangana state, but when it comes to projects or incentives or the allocations, they are showing thumbs down to the Telangana state, sir. And this budget is one among such document. I request the Honorable Finance Minister to show some magnanimity to Telangana and also give us due share in the budget and the Finance Commission, because this is a newly formed state in the Mother India. When it comes to the agriculture, as the Prime Minister has rightly said, the MSP is going to continue. We really appreciate that, sir, because as we all know that MSP needs a legal backing, or it should be given it in writing, sir. MSP definitely stabilizes the price, and it is an assurance to the farmer. MSP ensures the threshold limit for his produce and prevents him from distress sale also. When it comes to MSP, the government, the Swaminathan Commission has recommended 1.5 times, whereas the Government of India is giving only the A2 plus FL, in which the A2, which includes the seed, the investment on the seed, the fertilizer, manure, and the machine labor, and the FL includes the farm labor. whereas Swaminathan committee has recommended the C2 also, which includes the interest on the owned land and also imputed interest on the capital. So, provided if C2 is also considered and given to the farmers, that is the need of the hour to the farmers, sir. In the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana was always neglected. So, when Telangana has happened, our Honorable Chief Minister KCR Garu has seen that the focus should be on agriculture in the first 5 years. Accordingly, he has invested over 80,500 crores on the Kaleshwaram project and has seen that it is finished in 3.5 to 4 years, which is going to cater the area cut of 45 lakh hectares in 21 districts, sir. And it also meets the requirements of the drinking water in both Hyderabad and Secunderabad. When it comes to the undeclared policy of the Government of India, when two states are divided, it is necessary and mandatory that the Government of India has to give a national status to at least to each state, the way it has given Polavaram to Andhra Pradesh. We do not mind giving Polavaram to national status to Andhra Pradesh, but we were requesting for national status for Kaleshwaram since long, sir. I request the Honorable Finance Minister and the Prime Minister also to please consider and reimburse the expenditure made by Telangana government. When it comes to Government of India, the the Prime Minister was talking, saying that they have lots of concern to the family, to the farmers' welfare. I really do not doubt that, but I request the Finance Minister to please to consider this capital formation which has to happen in the agriculture sector, especially in the irrigation structures. So I request the government to consider taking up this as a national project. The second point when I would want to talk is a contradiction. The farmers have apprehension that the APM MCs will be dismantled, but the government, the Prime Minister, I just started, sir, only 1 minute. The Honorable Prime Minister has said that they are going to put 1 lakh crores for the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, which will definitely boost these activities. So I request the Finance Minister to please explain and remove the apprehensions of the farmers, sir. When it comes to the 15th Finance Commission, the 15th Finance Commission, as I said, has neglected the states like Telangana. Not only Telangana, most of the states were requesting for 50% of devolution of funds, but the same 41% has continued, and it is said that the award period of the 15th Finance Commission will continue with the 41%. When the Finance Minister announced that Telangana would get 16,726 crores as devolution, but if you look at the correct figures, we got only 11,721 crores, which is a deficit of 5,000 crores, sir. And the Finance Minister proposed rupees 13,990 crores for the next financial year, which is less by 2,750 crores, sir. I request the Finance Minister to give us the exact figures because we can plan the programs. I have a suggestion in this also. When the Government of India cannot give the required allocated devolution funds, I request the Government of India to increase the FRBM limits, outside the FRBM limits. I have just started, sir, only two. Yeah.
You have to conclude now.
We are requesting to give our share in the...
Now your party have another speaker. You have to conclude.
We are requesting for our share in the cess and surcharges, sir. I request the Finance Minister to please consider that also. And I was told that the Finance Minister is going to consider the rationalization of the centrally sponsored schemes. I request not to consider these schemes because they are very vital for poor and downtrodden, sir. The Finance Minister has pegged the fiscal deficit at 6.8% and proposes to reduce this to 4.5% by 25-26, while the states have been permitted to have their FRBM limits at 4% with additional 0.5% and have asked the states to reduce it to 3% in 2 years. I request the same amount of 5 years be given to the states also and the anomaly in the proposed amendments be corrected. And I also request the FRBM limits to be raised to 4.5% with additional 0.5% with the reform-based conditions, sir.
Please.
As far as the infrastructure is concerned, there is no doubt the Finance Minister has put a lot of emphasis and pumped huge money into the infrastructure with twin objectives of pushing the growth and also provide employment. When it comes to cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Nagpur, Nashik, metro expansion was considered, but our Honorable Chief Minister was requesting for the second phase of MMTS since very long, and we have requested this extension to Shemshabad Airport and also from Lingapalli to Vikarabad. Neither of these requests were considered, sir. When it comes to my constituency, Chevella, which is a part of Rangareddy district, sir, and Hyderabad, the 15th Finance Commission has pointed out that 52% of the total revenue in the state comes from 4 districts, that is Rangareddy, Hyderabad, Medchal and Sangareddy, whereas funds were not allocated as were requested for the extension of MMTS. The Finance Minister has proposed for 3 freight corridors, sir, to give a fillip to the transportation. Telangana transports huge quantities of cement, coal, granite, fertilizers in addition to the food grains. I request the Finance Minister to please consider one freight corridor. The last one, sir. The Finance Minister has announced the setting up 7 textile parks in the country. I wish to submit that Telangana has a huge potential in producing cotton, and we have a very big section in weaver community. For this, appreciating this, the government of Telangana has proposed a textile park in Warangal district in 1200 acres of land, sir, and they have allocated 1552 crores. I request the Finance Minister to please consider this facility and convert it into a mega textile park so that it can give an opportunity for the employment of 1 to 1.5 lakh people, sir. I request them to consider. And
Thank you.
As only the railway projects in my state were not considered, sir, because Vikarabad Raichur Krishna is the dream of the people of my district of Rangareddy. This the survey, it was surveyed 4 times, sir, but this was not considered. I request the Finance Minister to please consider this line. Last page, sir. Consider this line and also to extend the MMTS from Falaknama to Shemshabad and to Miapur, sir. As far as the health is concerned, the Finance Minister has increased the health budget to 137%. I don't want to go into contesting arguments of how money given for the vaccine, drinking water and sanitation can be clubbed in this. I was told that 4 virology labs in the country, in addition to 9 biosafety labs, are going to be established. As we all know, Telangana is a hub for pharma sector, and one of the vaccine producing companies there in Hyderabad. So I request the government to please consider this virology lab here. As most of the MPs and most of the parties are requesting for MP labs, we also request the Finance Minister to please consider for the MP labs, and also the Kazipet coach factory and the Byron steel plant, which were being requested for n number of years. I request the Finance Minister to please consider. With these words, I conclude my observations on the budget and request the Honorable Finance Minister to be more pragmatic and realistic towards the people and state of Telangana. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.